Hey there, welcome back. We are checking out Banished today. So we're going to look at the sheep, the economy of wool and wool coats, and what have you. So I've done some testing. This map, we're fairly far into this map. We've got about 200, 250 or so people. Our economy's doing really well right now. And the way that we got there was by creating a number of sheep farms. You can see here we've got not that many. We've got 4 fairly sizable ones and 1 smaller overflow area. Oh, I'm sorry, there's actually another one over here. You always want to have 1 extra pasture in case there's an infection or something like that and you have to get rid of all those animals. You can just move them to another pasture rather than having to kill them all off. Another thing that a lot of people may or may not know is that while this button isn't highlighted, this little guy right here, you can click on that and it will show you how much your pastures are producing. So you can see here in the previous season we got 1,480 mutton and 78 wool for that one guy alone. This guy 72 wool and 600 mutton. So what we were able to do is we were able to take the wool from those guys, created a number of tailors. So we have, on this particular map, we've got 6 tailors. So I just built a bunch of tailors and created just lots and lots of wool coats. And then you're able to trade those. So what I started doing was I traded a bunch of wool coats and got a lot of fruit, a lot of peaches, I think it was, that I started with. And then I went in and I built, you can see here, I've got 7 breweries sitting right on top of each other. There's actually 2 more in the city, so we have 9 breweries altogether. So now they just create tons and tons of ale, which we can then put over to our trading post. So this particular trading post has, let's see here, we've got a bunch of wool, so you can see here, 380 wool coats, so that'll refill as soon as they're used. There's some warm coats there as well, and it can hold up to, or it's asking for 1,220 units of ale, as well as this other guy, my second trading post here, that has the same amount. Right now we have 66 in town. We've got a few guys that aren't producing anything right now. The easy way to figure out for your breweries what fruit they have to be able to produce ale from, you can also use wheat, of course, is if you have a town hall, which I would recommend once you're a decent sized town, you use your town hall and then you can quickly check and see. So you can see here I've got the inventory tab and I've got it sorted by quantity. So you can see here I've got 16,000 units of peach. This guy's set up to use wheat. There's only 200 units of wheat. So if I switch this guy over, make these guys all use peach, then they'll be producing quite a bit of ale for quite a long time to come. When you combine that with the fact that the more that you end up buying from the trading posts, the more that they'll bring, you're going to find pretty fast that you're going to have as much as you need, if not more than you need. So we have, here's my food graph. This is an important one to keep an eye on as your city gets larger. You can see in the last couple of years we bought a lot of fruit, peaches, that kind of thing. It's important to make sure that you're not ignoring the other parts of your food as well. You got to make sure that you got some protein and some grains and some vegetables to keep your people nice and healthy. This was an experiment I was doing here. I created 4 wheat fields, and the idea here was to create wheat to use for the breweries. But what I'm finding is basically you've got, I think there's 4 people in each of these fields. I don't have a problem with people right now. I've got more than I need. But basically you got 16 people working and they're going to create maybe a couple thousand units tops, whereas I can just simply buy a bunch. And it's not that expensive. The peaches in that go for 1 unit, and then you trade each unit of ale goes for 8. So really you're coming out way ahead. So I'm kind of thinking I don't even need those fields. It's really just there as an experiment. So like I said, you could, before we had, where's our wheat? It might all be gone by now. So I had about 200 units of wheat. Oh, there we go. So yeah, they must be pulling that wheat now. So we're at 1,170 units, and they look like they're about halfway done. So by the time it's all said and done, we're going to have a couple thousand units of that, which is great. We can use that, we can eat it, we can make some ale out of it if we run out of peaches, which we won't, probably ever. Well, no, that's not true. We'll definitely run out at some point. So we've got in town for the people to use about 200 units of ale, and both of the trading posts are full up right now. I mean, if we wanted to, we could bump these up, make these 2,000 each. So I'm just going to do that just for the sake of doing so. And because, of course, we have, you know, over 10,000 units of peaches, they'll just keep producing more and more and more. And as the trading posts take it, they'll just keep filling up. So I think I've got an ale limit set to 1,200 for the town itself. That doesn't include the trading posts, so they're going to be full up pretty quick. So like I said, we're under 200 people, or sorry, just around the 200 people mark. Yeah, let's call it 240 right now. I've got more labor than I need in this city. We're producing more food than we need. We've got all kinds of resources, because now, of course, we've got so much ale and coats that we can trade for anything we need. So I'm a little bit low on iron right now. I got 300 units of iron, but both the logs and the stone are well over 1,000, and if we're not in need of food at any given moment, we can just trade for those things. As I said, the more you trade, the more that they'll bring. So eventually, you know, they'll be bringing 1,000 units of logs, and you can pretty much buy them all up. So we've got somebody coming here. Just gonna speed that up for a sec so he pops over here faster, and we'll see what he's brought for us. Okay, so you can see there again, we currently have 12,000 units of peaches. He's brought another 16,000, 8,000 apple, and 16,000 pear. Now, we don't need any of those at the moment, but just to give you a good indication here. So I've only got 80 warm coats, that's 1,600 units. We've got 380 wool coats. That's going to get us at 7,300 units, and we've got 1,500 ale at the moment. So if I put those in, we can buy almost 20,000 units. We haven't even touched the firewood or the fish or the mutton, the venison, that kind of thing. So we can buy every single peach this guy has if we so desired. I haven't figured out if you can do more than 9,999 in one given turn. So maybe if someone knows that, you can leave a comment and let me know. So I'm just going to basically buy all that. We can do a trade. Oops, I think I actually gave them a good deal there. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, no worries. Because we have lots and lots of stuff. So that stuff's going to get moved out. You can see here, so this is our row of breweries. I've got one storage barn on this side. It's at 80% full right now. You can see behind here, I've got 5 storage barns back here, and they're all pretty much full at this point. So we're probably going to get a notification here pretty quickly that we are out of storage space, because we just brought in another 16,000 units. This one's only 40% full. But yeah, so there you go. So that's kind of a quick way to get your economy going in a hurry. I'm sure there's other methods, but basically what I did was, once again, get enough stuff together so that you can get your sheep fields, your mutton, and your wheat, more importantly, your wool. And then I built over here, I built all my tailors, so you can see they've all hit their limit. So I built a bunch of tailors, and I've got them all set to make wool coats. You could do warm if you have a bunch of leather on hand as well. Once you've got enough money coming in from that, go ahead, you build a bunch of breweries, and then your economy is pretty much off to the races. So that's about it for now. I will be back with more Banished tips as I come up with them. Thanks very much for watching. Please, if you could, it would be lovely if you would subscribe and leave a comment if you enjoyed. Thanks very much. Bye.